Welcome back to another episode of The Night Watch. Today's episode is the mystery of the Zodiac, where we explore the Zodiac killer case of 1968. Today,
Dun
joining
dun
us on
dun.
the podcast, we have my co-hosts.
My name is Josh.
My name is Diego.
Hola, mi name is Marcus.
And my name is Son.
And I am your host, Silvio. Before we dive in, what do you guys know about the Zodiac killer?
He's a cool dude. He was something, but he wasn't that bad compared to what a lot of people think of him, in my opinion.
Hot take? Okay.
I don't know anything about this case whatsoever. If anything, this is my first time hearing about this case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing whatsoever.
Okay. Josh?
I've read a lot and heard a lot about it. It's not a new case for me.
Okay.
Alright, so tonight we are brought into 1960s San Francisco. So the Zodiac killer is actually a pseudonym of an unidentified serial killer who operated in Northern California in the late 60s. He murdered 5 known victims in San Francisco Bay Area between December of 1968 and October of 1969, operating in rural, urban, and suburban areas. He targeted 3 young couples and a lone male cab driver.
The Zodiac killer's officially verified murder spree began in 1968 and ended in 1969. The Zodiac killer claimed he murdered a total of 37 people, dating back into the 1970s, but authorities have only confirmed 5 attacks. Some of these victims in this case were David Faraday, Betty Lou, Darley Vernon, Mike Magoo, Cecilia Shepard, Brian Hartnell, and Paul Stein. These deaths range from 1968 all the way to 1962, with other possible killings occurring as early as 1962.
This attack on David Faraday occurred on July 5th, 1969. David Faraday, age 17, was shot in the head at point-blank range and died within minutes. Betty Lou Jensen, age 16, was shot 5 times in the back and instantly killed. The weapon was a .22 caliber semi-automatic pistol. The ammunition was a Winchester Western Super X copper-coated long rifle. There was no indication of robbery or sexual molestation. While there was no witnesses, several vehicles were seen in the area just prior to the local resident Stella Borges discovering the crime scene.
Before I start, do we have any opinions on this? Why do you guys have any reasons on why he could have done it?
Very gruesome how he does it.
Do we have any opinions on 2 people getting murdered? No, I
There's
don't.
actually a bunch of people. I think he was lonely. I think he
I
didn't
think
want to see the couples happy.
this method as of right now is just gruesome as it is, but other than that, no, not really.
I mean, I could see, since it was a couple, I could see the motive possibly being loneliness, but I don't know.
Because, it does say, no indication of, robbery or sexual molestation.
I think they need to get it on.
What?
What?
Kind of lagged out for a bit. Keep
Hey,
going.
could you repeat what you said?
No, don't repeat.
Okay. And I personally think he was a little lonely guy. I think he just wanted some friends, but
It could have been out of jealousy. Yeah.
that too.
Okay.
Maybe
I kind of see
maybe
that.
it was maybe those girls were his crush and the guy stole them from him.
Yeah, but with the long rifle though?
Hey,
what I'm saying, he
man's
just
gotta do
walked
what a man's gotta do.
He went back into World War to steal a weapon to then kill somebody.
Well, you have to remember the time period.
High School Musical drama style
1969.
type stuff.
But, okay,
This
so that
is-
means,
yeah.
rifles were, you could buy them, off magazines and stuff. So it was, fairly easy to get.
Before gun control policies.
I guess so. But the attacks occur around July 5th, 1969, from what I know. It was a method of attack was Darlene Fair, and she was 22, and she was shot 5 times. And another person was there with her, age 19 Mike Magoo was shot 4 times. The weapon was a 9mm semi-automatic pistol, so he must have obtained it somewhere easily. Small little thing. And there was no indication of robbery or sexual molestation, and there were no witnesses. So I think he did it at night specifically, so nobody could see him.
I mean, it doesn't...
Like he kind of like waited it out then. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think
I feel like other serial killers, they have like a weird sexual like undertone with their stuff. This dude just seemed like he just wants to kill people just to kill people. Like there's no like undertone with anything.
Yeah. Cause like the Dahmer thing, I remember he was like saying like after he got questioned, like he was like sexually aroused by it.
Yeah, he had like a sexual undertone, but then this guy, since there's no like sign of anything, it's like he's just doing it for fun.
Likes killing people. That's like
yeah, because I mean he's not robbing them, he's not doing anything weird with them or anything. So it's just like he just wants to do it, like no real.
So just straight up bloodlust.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we could see in these next 2 cases, the attacker on Cecilia Seppard, age 22, and Brian Hartnell, age 20, occurred on September 27, 1969. The method of attack used on them was, for Cecilia Seppard, she was stabbed 10 times, 5 in the front and 5 in the back. For Brian Hartnell, age 20, he was stabbed 6 times in the back. The knife had a wooden handle and a blade approximately 10 to 7 inches long. There was no indication of robbery or sexual molestation. There are no witnesses.
Again, right there.
So this shows how he was bloodthirsty.
Yeah, because I'm saying like
Okay, yeah, this he had to be a lonely dude then.
Him. Like it's almost like he wants it to be like the worst amount of like painful death that like a person can have. Like it's just stabbing him constantly in the back.
Maybe he had a bucket list of different ways to kill people.
Like okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. Like using different materials and all that.
Yeah, some people are different like that.
Alright, so moving on to the suspects. There were numerous suspects on this case, but police narrowed it down to 4 main suspects. Arthur Leigh Allen, Richard Gaykowski, Rick Marshall Lawrence, Kane. The main suspect in this case was Arthur Leigh Allen. He was the only suspect authorities ever publicly named. A former elementary school teacher and a convicted sex offender who died in 1992. The lead detective was a San Francisco Police Department Inspector, Toshi Began. Oh my gosh, I actually misread that. Toshi. He began to suspect Allen for several circumstantial reasons. He said that he bore the Zodiac watch, which had like the same symbol that was found on his letters. His personality was that of a serial killer. Like he was quiet, like socially awkward, and yeah, he was a known pedophile. So I kind of see where like his like personality fits in that sort of category of like psychopaths.
Yeah, but kids at our school are psychopaths and quiet like that. But I don't think we think they should. Never mind.
No, but I think like a huge
one in the
keeper
making
is like socially awkward.
Yeah,
like
but social like ineptness is always like a sign.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they always just like observe and not interact. If that makes sense.
The only thing is just like the whole pedophile thing, because there's no like sexual like undertones with the murders and stuff. So that's like the only thing that in my head doesn't fit.
No molestation or like any.
Yeah, like and since there's no like undertone thing done, the pedophile thing just seems irrelevant. So I don't know. It just seems like it's not.
They just wanted to bring that up to make a larger case file.
Yeah, that's true. They could just put it in to make it seem like more of a fitting, because he's already a criminal, just to big the case more, I guess.
I think the police just sucked back then. They could have done so much better to find this.
Well,
but
then again, because they only publicly announced one of them, and it was the main dude, which is was it Allen? Oh, Arthur Leigh Allen. Well, I think that's kind of one of the reasons why he kind of was like sort of dormant for a while, because if you publicly announce someone, like, or I know, because there's some serial killers who like the attention that keep doing it.
Well, it wasn't mentioned here, but there was like another piece of info on the thing where he had sent a letter that apparently had his name on it, but it was never deciphered, so we still don't even know what his name could be.
That's what I'm saying. Like
those letters
it was kind of
deciphered.
he was like toying with him. It's almost like he
Yeah,
wanted the attention.
I mean, it wasn't until like a few years ago I think we had finally just one of the letters were fully deciphered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
Took this long for letters to be deciphered.
Do you guys think the reason like this case happened in San Francisco, it would have been different in other cities like Dallas or Los Angeles, Miami?
Definitely.
yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Days were different. People were paid off. People didn't care.
I feel like that happened everywhere though at the time. I feel like the whole corrupt cop thing was everywhere in a way.
It's true. I think they didn't take it as that big of a threat.
Probably
yeah.
not. They probably just saw it as like occasional murders here and there.
And now we have the tools to
That's what I'm
hopefully
saying.
decrypt them. I could be wrong.
If they had the technology now that we have, like, wow, that was crazy stuff. If they have the technology that we have now, I think they would be like easily deciphered, like the letters that he left behind.
Well, we have the technology we have now, and it's still not deciphered. Look at breakthrough, man.
No, but I mean, it could also be like dependent of the time. Like, okay, so like, for example, like, what if there was like evidence that was only usable for like a couple of years, right? Like before, like it corroded or got destructive or something like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, there could have been like some sort of, I don't know, technology scanners or something like that that they could use back then.
It probably was.
Because I'm pretty sure all the evidence that we have now is not like the same amount they had back then. Like, there must have been something that had been destroyed or something.
Maybe he had
So,
some
like-
people.
Like police sketches, he was wearing a mask and gloves and stuff. So who knows? But I don't think I think he had like one. I think he had one victim get away. But again, if he's wearing a mask and like the mask was described, I think as like a burlap sack and then black leather gloves.
Yeah.
So really nothing would be traced and stuff.
But then again, like,
Like, I think
these
all they-
sketches are only like a fraction of it, and it doesn't.
Oh yeah, and then in like a moment of panic, really how accurate you can be able to tell something. And like that, yeah.
I honestly think that they could have did a better job. I think the victim... Did the victim survive?
Only one, I believe, got away. I believe only one got away.
But I think
There's
it would
no way
have
they
been
couldn't
different
have
if they didn't like publicly announce it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it was with like Richard Ramirez, like the Night Stalker. It was a while until they caught him. There was even several times they were like close to catching him, like an officer would be in the same building or like down the street from him apparently, and they didn't catch him.
Because then again, like, this case, like, at the end of the day, like, it's not solved. Like, that's where the whole like theories
Yeah.
about like who it is and like if he's still out there. Me personally, I think that like he died
I think he'd be too old or dead already.
exactly.
Yeah, he'd be too old or dead already by now.
And like the only reason like he's still relevant now is because of like the rumors are like, oh, he's still out there. It's this person. But
I mean, there's been people that have come out that said they might be related to him, like there might be like further down the line of his family, but who knows?
But then again, it could be like a publicity stunt just to like get more attraction to it. Like, oh, I'm related to a famous serial killer from the 60s.
I don't really know if it's a flex though.
Like, yeah, he's that boy.
I'm related to a horrible
No,
person
but I
in
mean, like,
history.
you know how people be like selling like books and stuff about like misfortunes and everything.
Oh, I guess yeah, like the people who are into that like dark collection stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaks.
Well, okay. So like, what do you guys?
I feel like
think?
he's dead.
Okay. That's what
I think he got
I'm
clapped.
leaning towards that.
Yeah, I think he's dead already by now.
Yeah, I think he's dead.
Yeah.
Well, if one of us dies in our sleep, I think we understand why. I think
He's just mysteriously listening to us.
Also,
Yeah.
Hey, let's say he was still alive though. Where you think he would have moved to another state to like
Would've
clear
had
it up, or you think he would, and you think he would have like had a family member continue it on?
I think it's, I don't know, because I'm thinking like as a serial killer, you want to be kind of close to it, kind of like to remind yourself like, oh, I did this, and they don't even know. Kind of like
Well,
that.
we know the times that we have technology, so they can still see that he's done it and it's been in the past.
Okay.
I
see
think
that.
he. What was I gonna? I lost what I was gonna say.
Well, I think that's a wrap. That was a pretty good episode. Thank you for joining me on the Night Watch. And signing off from my
Yeah.
co-hosts.
Josh.
Diego.
Marcus.
And so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.